Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications. And now, let's join ace broadcaster MAMODE AKUGHA as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I'm your regular host, MAMODE AKUGHA. The modest yet impactful efforts of the current board and management of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, under the leadership of Chairman Mr. Chiedu Ebie and Managing Director Dr. Samuel Ogbuku have continued to receive widespread commendation. The latest recognition came from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who within a span of 1 week extolled Dr. Ogbuku and his team twice for what he described as transformational leadership that is rekindling hope across the oil-rich Niger Delta region. In one instance, President Tinubu also urged the leadership of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum PANDEV to support the NDDC board and management in fostering sustainable peace and development in the region.
Just about 3 months into his administration in August 2023, President Bola Tinubu appointed a complete board and management for the country's foremost interventionist agency, the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. The board, which has Mr. Chiedu Ebie as chairman and Dr. Samuel Ogbuku as managing director, was then inaugurated in November 2023. After about 17 months in the saddle, the president last week, in 2 separate instances, expressed delight in what this board and management have achieved across communities in the oil-rich Niger Delta region, which he said is glaring for all to see. The first commendation by Mr. President came during the inauguration ceremony of the planning for the National Youth Conference at the Presidential Villa in Abuja.
One of you, Dr. Ogbuku, is here. NDDC, commending your effort. It's doing very well.
After that, the president, when he met with leaders of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, made it clear again that he is pleased with what the NDDC is doing. He urged the leaders to fully support Ogbuku and his team as they continue bringing the renewed hope agenda to life in the region.
Community development is a matter very close to my heart. I have some of your youth doing very well in terms of Niger Delta. Ogbuku, the MD of NDDC, is doing a good job. Encourage him to achieve more.
Similar commendations and applause had come in from several quarters, such as the leadership of PANDEF, community leaders and various other groups on Dr. Ogbuku for changing the agency's narrative. They highlighted his ability to foster a strong working relationship between the board and management while effectively engaging development stakeholders and the people of the region in shaping the policies, programs and projects of the commission.
But since you and your team came on board, there's a change, visible change, that we can see all over the region. You have performed in an outstanding manner, including the completion of numerous high-impact projects, such as roads, bridges, and buildings. These, I must say, have significantly improved the livelihood of our people. We see what NDDC is doing in terms of the light up Niger Delta. If it had always been like this, the Niger Delta would have moved much forward. We, PANDEF, representing the people of Niger Delta, are pleased with your management. I will thank Mr. President for giving you this opportunity to serve. I will call on all the people of the Niger Delta to keep supporting this crop of young people working for us.
Dr. Obuku has also been honored with numerous awards in recognition of his outstanding leadership and development efforts across the Niger Delta. One of the most notable is the Sun Newspaper Public Service Award 2024, which he received earlier this month in Lagos, along with several other prestigious accolades. The recent commendation from President Tinubu on the leadership of the Commission further reinforces confidence that the board and management may be on track to serving out their full tenure. This aligns with the aspirations of many development stakeholders in the region, who have long identified leadership instability as a major challenge hindering the Commission's effectiveness in the past.
Inside the Niger Delta.
It has become inevitably compelling for me to invoke the provision of the Section 305 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State with effect from today, 18th March, year 2025, and I so do. By this declaration, the governor of Rivers State, Mr. Similaye Fubara, his deputy, Mrs. Ngozi Odu, and all elected members of the House of Assembly state are hereby suspended. The Senate invokes the powers conferred on it by Section 305, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, and approve the proclamation of state of emergency declared by Mr. President in Rivers State of Nigeria. The Senate further directs that the declaration of the state of emergency stated in the proclamation document and the mandate of Mr. President to review, and hereby mandates the President to review and even to terminate the state of emergency at any given time, but not later than 6 months. The Senate further resolved that Section 11, subsection 4 be invoked, providing the National Assembly the authority to set up a joint ad hoc committee of both chambers to oversight the administration of Rivers State henceforth.
Declaration of state of emergency and suspension of the governor and deputy governor and members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Unfair, unjust, and unconstitutional. It is on record that Governor Similaye Fubara made genuine efforts to present the budget as directed within the specified period. He wrote to the House through his SSG. It was rejected. He went to the House of Assembly himself, only to be locked out by the lawmakers. The portrayal of Governor Sam Fubara as non-compliant, while disregarding the misconduct of the 27 House Assembly members, is misleading and unfair. By doing so, the President has created a narrative that places the blame solely on the governor, which is not the true position of the events. If there is any culprit who has inflamed the political atmosphere to push it to its present level, it is Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike. This move appears to be a tactical maneuver to discredit the government, giving it a bad name, to justify the position of a state of emergency. We strongly urge the President to reconsider his decision in the best interest of fairness, justice, and constitutional democracy.
Development, transformation, Niger Delta.
Without any doubt, the Nigerian Constitution does not empower the President to remove an elected governor, deputy governor, or state assembly under any circumstances. The conditions under Section 3053 for declaring a state of emergency include the following. 1. War or external aggression. Breakdown of public order and safety. Natural disasters or any other grave emergency threatening Nigeria's corporate existence. None of these conditions exist in the current circumstances in Rivers State. There is no war, no widespread violence, and no breakdown of law and order warranting emergency declaration. This state of emergency declaration is not about security. It is about power grabbing and control in Rivers State. Rather than allowing the law to take its course, the federal government has engineered a crisis to justify this obviously premeditated and brazenly cynical and unconstitutional action. We find the federal government excuse of pipeline vandalism quite untenable and even laughable. The security of national infrastructure falls squarely under the responsibilities of federal security agencies and privately contracted security firms. If this issue had to do with breach of security in whatever form, the question that should naturally be asked, who controls the police, the military, and the DSS, the governor or the president? Past administration had made great efforts and sacrifices to restore peace and stability to the Niger Delta, which is critical to the economic health and stability of Nigeria itself. This federal government should not manufacture political crises that could disrupt the fragile stability and return the country to the past that we have all prayed to leave behind for good.
In 2006, the Supreme Court of Nigeria gave a judgment, lashed the Obasanjo administration, and said that under no circumstances would the emergency provisions in Section 305 be used to remove any elected official. That is the law. The Supreme Court has spoken. No legislation or constitutional amendment has changed that, so that is the law. No one, no person or authority can remove an elected official, whether governor, deputy governor, or member of the legislature, without going through the due process of law. In the case of governor, via impeachment. In the case of legislators, through recall. Those are the only ways you can remove an elected person. You cannot tamper with the mandate of the people under Section 305 of the Constitution. The Supreme Court has spoken, and it's very, very clear. What President Tinubu has done is violently unconstitutional and unlawful.
Development, transformation, Niger Delta.
I cry and I wail for the National Assembly of Nigeria. I thought they are supposed to be the bastion of hope for democracy, but unfortunately we see a rape of democracy at the national level. Now, if you look at the voting, two-thirds majority is required. They are what should be there physically present to vote, cast their vote, not by voice vote. What we saw was a voice vote, and voice vote is not supposed to constitute the two-thirds majority. To determine an issue of a state of emergency, that again is an affront to democracy. Now, I can see the executive take away some of their powers. The declaration says that the Federal Executive should report to the Federal Executive Council with respect to decisions or policies that he wants What is the function of Section 11 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended? That is the work of the National Assembly.
We will not accept a voice vote. It is not in this instance. This instance is so critical to the future and lives of the people of Rivers State that yea and no is not going to cut it. And we want to see the signatures of the people that didn't vote or have absented themselves from voting. And no, we do not deserve a state of emergency in Rivers State. There was no vacuum in governance. The governor of Rivers State, in the opinion of the majority of the people of Rivers State, is doing a great job.
There's a lot of people anticipated that nothing will come out of it, because there have been several issues, not in the time of Okadigbo and co, when they were able to resist the former president Olusegun Obasanjo. Now we'll have a kind of rubber stamp. Legislative members cannot even speak for themselves. If you look at how things have gone, in fact, they are beginning to lose the value that was bestowed on them earlier before now. They lack what it takes. Most of them lack what it takes to be in the National Assembly.
Inside the Niger Delta. AKUGHA Group, oil and gas, dredging, power and air transportation. AKUGHA Group, petroleum product sufficiency, energy sustainability and infrastructure development.
The Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC has taken its ongoing project inauguration exercise to Abia State, where it commissioned 2 separate roads totaling about 23.65 kilometers and solar-powered streetlight projects in Ikuano and Umuahia South local government area of the God's own state. The team, led by the governing board chairman, Mr. Chiedu Ebie, was in the company of the Minister for Regional Development, Engineer Abubakar Momo, the representative of the governor of Abia State, and some federal lawmakers from the region. In their separate speeches, Engineer Momo and Mr. Ebie assured the people that the NDDC stands poised to upgrade infrastructure in the region, as well as improve the socio-economic well-being of its population.
The current board and management under the leadership of Mr. Chiedu Ebie and Dr. Samuel Obuku placed a high premium on building and completing key infrastructure, especially roads and bridges that will improve interconnectivity and boost socio-economic activities across the region. While many of such projects are currently ongoing, quite a number have recently been completed and commissioned for use by the people. These include the 18.25-kilometer Ndoro-Ntalaku Road network in Ikuano local government area and the Isi Court Olokoro Amaoba Oboro Road in Umuahia South local government area in Abia State, complemented by solar-powered streetlights that were inaugurated last week by the Commission. Abia State representative on the board of the NDDC, Erugba Dingba, lifted the curtain on the ceremony with the welcoming address before Executive Director Projects Sir Victor Antai gave the brief of the project. Goodwill messages followed, after which the Chief Executive Officer of the Commission, Dr. Obuku, took the podium to deliver his speech.
What we have done here is just to complement what the state government is doing. And this is how we also want to complement what state governments are doing across the Niger Delta to ensure that we don't duplicate projects in areas where development is highly needed. So just to let the world know that we actually operate with needs assessment.
Visibly pleased with the number of projects the Commission has initiated and completed under the distinguished support of Mr. President, the Minister for Regional Development, Engineer Abubakar Momo, promised to provide all necessary support to the NDDC to achieve even more.
We want to actually institute and establish a culture of delivery so that whoever takes over from the current management of NDDC must know that the priority is to deliver the dividends of democracy to the people.
For his part, Board Chairman Chiedu Ebie reiterated the Commission's commitment to uplifting the living conditions of people and building infrastructures that will drive development in the region.
When you receive the highest commendation you can possibly receive from Mr. President through our Managing Director, whilst we feel good about that, but it therefore means that there's more work for us to do. And we want to assure not just Mr. President, but the people of the region that we will continue to do what we were appointed to do, and which is to ensure the development of the region.
Members of the community who warmly welcomed the NDDC with their entertaining performances came bearing gifts as a symbol of their appreciation.
The road has really opened up business, opened up communication between communities, opened up trading, and a lot of interaction between communities.
The NDDC not only building the road, they gave us light. We are so happy. We are so happy. We are thankful.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Delta State Governor Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori says his administration will not only improve infrastructure across the oil state, but will also ensure that the civil service is properly equipped and repositioned to efficiently drive the policies of government in transforming the lives of Deltans. The governor stated this last week during an interactive dinner session with senior civil servants in the state. The Delta State Healthman also called on all civil servants to uphold the highest standards of professionalism by rejecting unethical practices that could hinder the progress and integrity of the service.
While Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori is also upgrading facilities for seamless service delivery in the state, he has also initiated occasional interactive sessions with the members of the civil service where he listens directly as they bear their minds on challenges confronting them in the discharge of their duties. The governor last week, accompanied by some members of his cabinet, had one of these sessions with permanent secretaries, head of extra-ministerial department, directors and deputy directors in the state civil service. Governor Oborewori used the opportunity to thank the state workers for their continued support and commitment to his administration, assuring them that he would in turn make sure that their welfare is properly taken care of and that they have a productive working environment.
I thank all of you for the love that you have shown us in this administration. Let's continue to work together to be on the same page so that we're able to deliver the vision of democracy to our people.
The state head of civil service, Mr. Reginald Bayoko, who appreciated the governor for the parley, assured him of the support of the state workers in advancing his small agenda for sustainable development, economic growth, and improved governance in the state.
I can tell you confidently, sir, that under your leadership, the word going around is that the civil service has a leader who listens, understands, and acts in the best interest of the workforce.
In a different development last week in Delta State, members of the non-indigenous community in the state have commended the governor for what they say is his all-inclusive leadership style that is creating a level playing field for all and sundry to live and go about their legitimate businesses in the state.
Your Excellency, sir, we've come to the realization that leadership is truly measured not just by policies and projects, but by the depth of compassion and fairness extended to all, regardless of origin or background. Your Excellency has amply demonstrated these attributes by engaging some non-indigenous to serve in your government.
The group who presented the governor with a plaque bearing the most all-inclusive governor of 2025 also passed a vote of confidence on him and his administration in the state.
The ayes have it.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Beneficiaries of the recently concluded Governor Doyediri Free Medical Outreach Program, organized as part of activities marking the governor's 5th anniversary in office, have expressed gratitude for the initiative, which provided critical medical services to residents across the state's 3 senatorial districts at no cost. The beneficiaries conveyed their appreciation through the State Commissioner for Health, Professor Seyefa Brizibe, who read out their appreciation during the state's Executive Council meeting last week at the Government House in Yenagoa.
The medical outreach was to ensure that individuals who were unable to afford medical care in underserved communities in the state received the necessary attention, diagnosis, and treatment they require. Speaking to journalists during the exercise, beneficiaries thanked the governor for the gesture and appealed to him to sustain the program. They also sent a personal letter of appreciation to Governor Doyediri, which was read out during the Executive Council meeting last week.
One of the testimonies came from Chief Nelson Ayebaye. This life-changing intervention was made possible through the dedication of the governor and the grace of God. I sincerely pray that God continue to bless and uplift this administration.
Governor Diri, who was pleased that the program achieved and surpassed expectations, said the government would work out modalities to ensure that the initiative is sustained to keep providing critical medical intervention, especially in rural communities, while the government continues its long-time investment in healthcare delivery across the state.
I'm really touched. It means that the program is very acceptable to our people. And particularly for those of our people living in far-flung hinterland. It is actually very difficult, even though we have the zipline process of sending drugs, but at least getting the qualified personnel, medical doctors and nurses, carrying out operations there. We will look at the cost elements and even take it periodically rather than waiting for only when we have anniversaries.
A total of about 10,000 patients benefited from a wide range of services provided at the free medical outreach, including surgeries, eye care, dental care, general medical consultations, laboratory investigations, immunization services, and about 3,000 free mosquito nets were distributed to help prevent malaria.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Well, that's the size of our package on the program for today. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region, will be back same time, same station next week. Until then, you can follow us on our social media handles showing right now on your screens. And please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDNTV Nigeria for these stories and many more. Until next week, I am MAMODE AKUGHA thanking you for staying tuned. Bye for now.